Smash the like button if you believe that Tony Khan sacrificed the great AEW reputation of Christian Cage to prop up Edge at Revolution because he heard the whispers of Cage being better than Edge. So he made Cage look like a doofus out there.
All right, so let's talk about All Elite Wrestling's Revolution pay-per-view. So the first match on the card, Adam Hangman Page versus MJF. It's very surprising that this match was 5 years in the making. I'm shocked that Con Man did not book this match 4 years ago, because I think the 4 pillars nonsense, I think that's dead. There's no more 4 pillars. Here's why. Why wouldn't you put Adam Page in the 4 pillars conversation? He was here since day one, so it made no sense for Con Man not to put Adam Page in the 4 pillars discussion. He was the first guy to challenge for the All Elite Fed Pro Wrestling's World Heavyweight Championship. So he was always the face of this company. I just felt like this match was 4 years to 5 years overdue. I mean, let's be real. These two should be their version of Rocky Maivia versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Adam Page, Stone Cold, Max, Rocky Maivia. It's 5 years to 4 years too late for you to all of a sudden want to book these guys in a feud. We could have had at least 4 to 5 years of Max and Page feuding, just like Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Adam Page. We gotta be real here. Max, he's no longer as popular as he once was. That's what I mean by this feud is maybe 4 to 5 years too late. The perfect time was maybe 2022 or 2023. That was the best time for Max and Page to feud. Because Max, he is repetitive. He's no longer a top heel. Dirty Ass Dominic has surpassed Max. So when Max was hot, that's the time that Adam Page and Max should have feuded for the World Heavyweight Championship. This guy, Tony Khan, he waits damn near 4 to 5 years for Max to be exposed as an overrated guy. This match was the first match on the show. I would say maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this match would have been the main event. That's what I mean by Tony Khan dropped the ball on Max. You waited too long for this feud. So, what is my grade for this match? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This was a very solid match. Actually, this was the best match from Max within the past maybe 8 to 10 months. This was a solid match. The biggest highlight was Max giving Adam Page a tombstone power driver on the steel chair. That was great shit. Great spot. Who won this match? Adam Page or Max? It was Adam Hangman Page. And yes, he was the rightful winner. He deserved to win this match because he can't beat Jay White. So at least beat Max. This was a needed win for Adam Hangman Page. Most likely, Adam Page and Max will have at least 2 more matches after this. But I want this feud to get more personal because this is 4 to 5 years overdue. You need to play catch up because Adam Page versus Max should have happened 4 to 5 years ago. So let's talk about the next match. Sasha Banks versus some Asian female named Momo. You know what? I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Sasha Banks carried this match. I will say that. For the first time in my life, I will say that Sasha Banks actually carried a match. Hell, I might go a step further. This might be her best match ever in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. That's facts on motherfucking facts. Now, I'm not saying that this Momo female is bad, it's just this was the first time I've ever saw Momo in a match. So maybe she's better. Maybe Momo was off. But Sasha Banks was the best female in this match. I will say her best move was a rock bottom off the top rope. I'm talking about Momo. Momo did a rock bottom off the top rope. That was a great spot, but that was the best spot in this match from her side. Now, like I said, I'm sure Momo is a great fake pro wrestler in Stardom, but not in this match. She was off. Sasha Banks was great in this match. You see, on this channel, I pride myself on being objective. Yes, I do not like Sasha Banks, but this was a very solid match on her part. Oh yeah, by the way, Sasha Banks did win this match, and rightfully so. So, let's talk about the next match. Ricochet versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, I don't know why that Leslie Jones female was in this match. Why was she on TV? Why did she get camera time? I'm like, what the fuck? Listen, she's a left-wing nut job. Maybe that's why they put Leslie Jones on TV. We all know that All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, it's a left-wing nut job company. So it was not shocking to see Leslie Jones on TV in the front row in this match talking shit to Ricochet. She has to be a lesbian, right? She has to be a lesbian. There's no man walking this earth that would smash Leslie Jones. Maybe a white guy? Maybe a white guy would smash Leslie Jones. That's what I think. Because usually white men, they date black females that us black men don't want. So yes, there is a strong possibility that a white man would smash Leslie Jones. For example, only a white man would smash Whoopi Goldberg. And that is facts on motherfucking facts. Hey, don't get it twisted. I respect the fact that white men, they take one for the team. So yes, I do respect that. Because look, even ugly busted ass females need love too, but not from me. So that's what I mean by I like when white men, they take one for the team. Because I don't want her. So what is my grade for Ricochet as a heel so far in All Elite Wrestling? I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 based on the fact that Ricochet is a try-hard heel. That's a bad thing. This is why you people need to respect Jack Perry. I like the fact that Jack Perry turned heel and he changed his whole entire in-ring style to a brawler. He goes from doing flippy dippy bullshit to being a brawler. I respect that. That's called heel 101. If you are trying to get over as a heel, you need to change up your in-ring style. Ricochet, he is still doing all the flips and the kicks and the goddamn dives. I don't like that. He's still Ricochet. He is still a bald-headed fuck who does flips. This is why you need to put some respect on Jack Perry's name. That's how you turn heel. Change your whole entire gimmick, your whole entire character in the ring during your matches. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love the fact that Ricochet turned heel. I do not want Ricochet to turn back as a babyface, stay as a heel. I'm just saying he's not a great heel. He's a 5 out of 10 try-hard heel. Oh yeah, by the way, it seems like every match that I watch of Isaiah Swerve Scott, every match, it's a brutal match. It's a very brutal physical match. You gotta go back and watch this crazy ass spot of Ricochet giving Isaiah Swerve Scott a Spicoli driver on the outside, right? Isaiah, he dove to the ropes, and then Ricochet, he caught him and he gave him a Spicoli driver on the floor, but he almost broke his neck. That was a nasty fall. But I must say, this was a great match. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This was a great grudge feud match. Did I pick Ricochet to win this match? Nope. I picked Isaiah Swerve Scott to win this match and to win this grudge feud. Ricochet can take a loss and just move on. Isaiah Swerve Scott should move on to bigger and better things. It was not mandatory for Ricochet to win this feud. I liked how they booked Ricochet in this match. They booked him strong. He kicked out of multiple house calls from Isaiah Swerve Scott. So Ricochet, he did finish strong. So he can move on to bigger and better things in that mid-card. Let's talk about the next match. Okada versus Brody King for the Continental Heavyweight Championship. I mean, Mr. Brody King, he did have a great performance in this match, but we all knew that Brody was going to lose this match, so why review it? Obviously, Okada won this match fair and square. I mean, yes, Mr. Brody King, he did have a great performance against Okada, but we all knew that Okada was going to win this match, and yes, he did, fair and square. Okada retains his Continental Heavyweight Championship. I will say this, the biggest highlight of this whole entire show was the amount of celebrities that they were showing during every match. Like every match, there was always a celebrity in the front row that they were showing on TV. I'm like, okay, we get it. You have celebrities in the front row. Okay, let's move on now. So, let's talk about the next match. The Hurt Business versus that Magnum TA Tag Team for the Tag Team Heavyweight Championships. By the way, the seeds have been planted. Tony Khan will push Lio Rush and Mario Andretti for the Tag Team Championships because they were in the front row scouting the Hurt Business. Why is that a big deal? Because I want to see Bobby Lashley versus Lio Rush. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, they have unfinished business. But let's be honest, this was a nothing match. I did not take this match seriously. We all knew who was going to win this match. It was the Hurt Business. They were dominant against that Magnum TA Tag Team, and rightfully so. The Hurt Business retained the Tag Team Heavyweight Championships. Let's talk about the next match. Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm versus sexy ass Mariah May for the All Elite Wrestling Female Heavyweight Championship. This match was a brawl, and rightfully so. These females should not have a regular standard match. This should be a grudge match. This should be a brutal brawl. And yes, it was. My favorite part of this whole entire match was the fact that Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm gave Mariah May a sky high off the stage through a table. Shout out to D'Lo Brown. So, what are my thoughts about females bleeding in matches? I'm not gonna lie, I am not a huge fan of it. I don't like females bleeding in matches like men. I don't like it. But if the feud calls for it, I don't mind it. But in this instance, it was called for. These females, they have a blood feud. So it does make sense for Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm to bleed in this match. It did make sense. But good lord, man, she was soaking. She was soaking in blood. I'm talking about Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm. Holy shit, that was a lot of blood. It was similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart. That was a lot of blood. I must say, much respect to Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm because she's a badass chick. That was a lot of blood. This match will go down as the most hardcore, most brutal female fake pro wrestling match of all time in the history of fake pro wrestling, and it's not even close. You will never see this kind of match ever again in wrestling history. These two females whooped each other's ass in this match. Big Booty Timeless Toni Storm gave Mariah May a Storm Zero through a table, and 1, 2, 3, Toni Storm retains her female heavyweight championship. Let's talk about the next match. Kenny Omega versus Takeshita for the International Heavyweight Championship. They need to unify the International Heavyweight Championship with the Continental Championship because one of those belts you don't need. You already have the TNT Championship. You are devaluing the TNT Championship. You have too many singles mid-card championships in your company. Tony Khan needs to delete one of those championships. Omega is back to full form. He looked like the old Omega from 4 to 5 years ago because it's not about the moves that he was doing. It's about the punishment that he was going through in this match that I said to myself, yeah, he's back to being the old Omega from 4 to 5 years ago. He was taking a lot of punishment during this match. So that means he's all the way back to full form. What was my favorite move during this whole entire match? It was when Omega gave Takeshita a pulling power driver, Cactus Jack style. That's my all-time favorite power driver. It's the pulling power driver. That's a great fucking move. So which man won this match? Takeshita or Omega? It was Omega. Omega won this match and he won the International Heavyweight Championship. And hopefully Omega and Okada will unify both belts. Was Omega the rightful winner? Yes. I feel like Takeshita had a great run. I have no issue with Takeshita dropping that belt to Omega. Let's talk about the next match. Kyle motherfucking Fletcher, the Cobra, versus Will Ospreay in a steel cage match. Did this match need blood? Yes. I feel like every steel cage match needs blood. These two men used to be best friends, so it does make sense for Will Ospreay to bleed. It does make sense for Kyle motherfucking Fletcher to bleed during this match. The only time that I like blood is when it's a blood feud. It needs to be a grudge feud. I don't want to see blood in a regular standard match where there's no heat. That's dumb. Do not water down blood. Do not devalue blood. The only time we should see blood is in a blood feud like Kyle versus Ospreay. These two men were doing some crazy ass shit in this match. I saw a Styles clash on thumbtacks. I saw a Spanish fly off the steel cage. That was a crazy ass spot, but the wrong guy won this match. Will Ospreay had no business winning this match. Kyle motherfucking Fletcher should have won this match. Let's move on to the main event. Edge versus Dean Ambrose for the All Elite Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship. Let's talk about the fact that Edge has wrestled every member of the Shield. So, who had the best feud out of all three? I'm going to say number 1, Seth, 2, Roman, and then 3, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose had the worst feud out of all three. But it's crazy, right? When Edge was facing Seth, that felt like a main event feud. That felt like an upper tier mid-card feud. And obviously, with Roman, that was a main event feud. But with Dean Ambrose, this feud feels like a mid-card feud. Like I said, there's levels to the Shield. Dean is last. Dean is number 3. This was a terrible match. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. The fact that Christian Cage cashed in and he lost, he cashed in and he lost. We all expected Christian Cage to cash in, pin Edge, and ruin his dreams. But Dean Ambrose, he woke up and he choked out Christian Cage and then he won the match. I'm so pissed off. What was the point of giving Christian Cage the Money in the Bank briefcase? What was the fucking point? Tony Khan is the worst booker of all time in fake pro wrestling. Christian Cage is a heat magnet, and he fumbled the bag. He fumbled the briefcase. You buried Christian Cage. This is worse. Just imagine if he failed a Money in the Bank cash-in in the World Wrestling Federation. We would be roasting Christian Cage. He just buried Christian Cage. Christian Cage was not needed in this match. He cashed in for no reason. He gets choked out by Dean Ambrose. So what the fuck was the point of adding him in this match? Tony Khan will go down as the biggest jackass booker of all time in fake pro wrestling history. I will give this show a 4 out of 10. This was an awful show with an awful ending. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. I will give it a 6 out of 10. I can't believe Tony Khan, man, just did this. He sacrificed the great All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling rep of Christian Cage to make Edge look good by comparison. Why? Because Tony Khan has heard the whispers of Christian Cage being booked better than Edge in All Elite Wrestling. So Khan Man cannot have that. So he makes Christian Cage look like a doofus at Revolution. This man just sacrificed Christian Cage to make Edge look good.